Do you identify more as being a leftist or being a liberal?
I am a leftist.
I don't mean to put. And how do you distinguish between the two? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know the answer.
A liberal believes in market solutions.
Okay.
So a leftist would believe in collectivism or government solutions.
Huh. That's interesting. Because you seem like a really reasonable guy.
What would make me unreasonable to have that belief?
Well, it just seems like you're, with that very succinct definition, it seems like you pretty much say that the collective should put their collective power in the government and have that be, that's sort of your thesis of, no, I get it. You know, RFK did a lot of that sort of thing. How do you feel about him?
You don't take RFK seriously, do you?
No, I don't really.
Okay.
I really don't. I think he's like an interesting. I don't doubt his intelligence. I'm sure he's an intelligent
I do.
man.
Brother, he had a brain worm. He was addicted to heroin for over a decade. We watched him swim in raw sewage just like a month ago. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
Hello, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm glad to hear that. I'm RWP. I figured out how to joking your stream.
I love it. I mean, it's called the Troll Patrol, so you can joke in our stream all you want to.
Sure, that's great. Are you from Georgia?
I am not, but I've spent a lot of time in Georgia because I'm from Appalachia. So Atlanta was kind of the big city. Oh, you're also from Appalachia?
Well, adjacent. The Piedmont region of North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, that's still Appalachia. I've lived in North Carolina and spent a lot of time in North Carolina.
What are your thoughts on the current deportation policies of the current administration?
It seems very draconian, fascist. Show us your papers, please. I stand with the workers. I don't think immigrants are a problem in my life. But matter of fact, I think immigrants have enriched my life in numerous ways, and I would trade every single MAGA for all the Mexicans in the world.
I work with immigrants not each and every day because I generally get weekends off, but 5 days a week. I'm about the only native-born American on our crew, so I might have a different opinion in general from you, but definitely share some of those same feelings that you just said.
So what's the different opinion you have?
What's the different opinion that I have?
I mean, you said you might have a different opinion than me, but you share a lot of the sentiments. Where do you differ with me?
Yeah, well, I agree with you on the draconian aspect of it. If I could ask you a question, and I don't want to break it down to just like who did you vote for, because I don't know, and maybe let's leave that to the side for now. But
I mean, you can ask me who I vote for. I don't it's on video. I clearly stated.
Sure. Okay, so I the first time I could vote, I was 18, and it was Trump's first election, which he won. I voted for Gary Johnson, who was a third-party candidate. The second time, the one that he lost, I actually voted for him that time, kind of half-heartedly, just not full-throatedly. But then the third time and the most recent time, I voted for him and felt, just no two ways about it. So that's me. But what was your sort of history on that?
Okay. I got to rewind. First of all, I will say that in 2012 I voted for Gary Johnson because I'm a proponent of the fact that I'm not a libertarian. They call me a libertarian leftist, I guess. But I don't call myself a libertarian because libertarians are like Spike Cohen is one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life.
they're idealistic and
they're dumb is what they are. They're dumb, naive, and usually affluent to where they're not really plugged in.
That's a good word. Naive is a good.
They're not plugged into what's really happening. But my thought process on it, because I was living in Tennessee at the time, I was going to college. My thought process on it at the time was that, two-party system bad. I'm going to vote for whatever party is most viable. It was the Libertarian Party in Tennessee. So that's why I voted for Gary Johnson. Now, I did not vote in 2016 because I moved in January of that year. And I wasn't motivated to. If I had it to do over again, I would vote, and I would vote for Hillary. But I wasn't motivated because of the candidates in the league, because Bernie got screwed over, yada yada yada. I was a Bernie guy.
Hey, totally
so now
fair.
I have to ask you. So clearly, like you vote for Gary Johnson, you believe in more like libertarian values. You want people to leave you alone, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So how in the fuck do you go from Gary Johnson in 2016 to voting for Trump in 2020? After seeing what happened, how do you make that decision?
Well, and so just so I have my timeline right, I voted for Johnson in. Let's see,
2016.
Yeah, right. And then 2020, that was Trump's first term.
Yeah. That was, we were in COVID and everything. That was Trump and Biden.
Oh, so I'm sorry. No, so 2014 I voted for Johnson, and then 2020 I voted for. I'm sorry, you'll have to help me out here. Help me out here.
In 2012, you voted for Johnson. In 2016, it was Hillary and Trump.
It was Hillary and Trump, and I voted for Johnson that year. Correct.
Okay. And then in 2020,
and Trump won. Yeah. In 2020,
you voted for Trump over Biden.
For Trump, half-heartedly. Didn't feel strongly one way or the other.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you. How does one go from voting for a libertarian in 2016 to being like, I can vote for Trump here after all that had happened? Him
and the time in between,
him killing the general in Iran, and him.
Yeah, no, I have an answer.
Moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Sure. The arms, the Republicans always frame it as a peace deal, but it was actually an arms deal with the UAE, the Abraham Accords. Yeah. Like after all that, like how does one? Because it was just more neocon bullshit.
Yep. I can see that perspective. I get that, but I do have an answer, I guess, and I'm not saying it's a very good line of thinking or super logical line of thinking, but if I'm just going to be honest with you, I was a little bit just a little bit sick and tired, and I don't want to use like crazy charged language, but like activated or just sort of like pushed to the right, so to speak, by the constant everyday 24/7 inability for anyone in the public sphere or media to acknowledge anything good. Not saying that he did a ton of good. I mean, I'm critical of everyone in the government. As I said, I voted for Johnson, so I'm not a huge government person. But I was like, okay, well, if all these people are this critical and this afraid of this guy, and there must be something to it. So I'm not saying that's the best line of thinking, but that is honestly where I was coming from in that year, is to say, well, at least the people in power don't like him, and that's sort of something that's good enough for me, almost in that moment.
It's okay. So to me, you say the people in power don't like him. I look at it as the people that like actually know what they're talking about don't like him, and that's
like Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow doesn't hold power. I don't pay attention to what Rachel Maddow says. It's so weird to me.
People do.
Huh?
A lot of people do.
No, they
think a lot
don't.
of people do. I
Brother,
don't know,
brother,
man. I
brother.
think
Do you know how many people watch Rachel Maddow? And like, she's only on like one night a week now. Do you know how
I
minuscule
know.
the ratings are? There are way more people watching like Mr. Beast or listening to Joe Rogan than watch Rachel Maddow.
That's a good point. I don't know what to think
like,
about
okay, cable
Mr.
news,
Beast.
MSNBC at its best may pull in like 250,000 people right now. Fox News,
Sure.
they brag about their ratings. They're not even cracking 1 million most of the time.
Oh, yeah, and I don't.
Nobody
watch Fox
is
News,
watching cable news. When you're talking about
Yeah,
I know they used to lead the discussion, right? Cable
Well,
news used to
my
have this
parents
prestige and shit.
My parents watch cable news like every night.
Well, yeah, certain age ranges still do. That's part of the,
They're like 60,
250,000
65.
people that are watching cable news.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still relevant.
But it's weird to me that, and I come across this a lot with right wingers, that like you obsess over Rachel Maddow, and like we're leftists, we don't pay any fucking attention to what she has to say.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Do you identify more as being a leftist or being a liberal?
Oh,
If you
I
had
am
to
a
pick,
leftist.
I don't mean to put. And how do you distinguish between the two? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know the answer.
A
I don't have
liberal
smart
believes
ass.
in market solutions.
Okay.
So a leftist would believe in collectivism or government solutions.
Huh. That's interesting. Because you seem like a really reasonable guy.
What would make me
But-
unreasonable to have that belief?
Well, it just seems like you're, with that very succinct definition, it seems like you pretty much say that the collective should put their collective power in the government and have that be,
Yeah.
that's sort of your thesis of, no, I get it.
Well, okay. So a lot of my, first of all, we have this notion in America, and it comes from a lot of propaganda, that like the government is bad, that government intervention is bad, and that's like the capitalists have bought that opinion. You see?
I agree. It's propaganda. I agree that that's been like somewhat, ingrained in me
I
to a
grew
certain
up
extent. I
in
get it.
Eastern Kentucky, and I saw all the ways that government helped my community, because I grew up in the mountains, in the coal fields of Eastern Kentucky. We were completely isolated from the rest of the country, but thanks to the government, we were able to have highways that allowed us to be able to venture out. It's how I was able to go to Atlanta so much when I was a kid. We were in Pikeville, Kentucky. They moved the river. It was the second largest land moving project in the world, behind the Panama Canal at the time. Now China has like 5.
No, I like it. My dad's from Lexington, and my mom is from Eastern Tennessee, between Cookeville and Crossville.
So
they met when they were both in school in Knoxville. And
government moved the river to stop the town from flooding. Every 2 or 3 years, it would cause millions of dollars in damage.
Who do you attribute that seeming success of government, work to?
I attribute it to the mindset that we used to have. Okay, we are in what is the neoliberal period, where we're tearing down the social safety net. Up until the 80s, we had a government that was literally called the welfare state. It was established by FDR.
And not ironically, it wasn't an insult. That's just what it was called.
Yes, because there should be a certain minimum provided to everybody to make sure no one drifts into poverty. That used to be a belief that we had, but thanks to, and like, this all ties into the Red Scare, because that's what it was all about. Like, they wanted to demonize communism. That's what, Marx is a dirty word to people over 55, because they had it like seared into their brains in schools, in popular media.
No, I agree.
But if you
It's
read
actually-
Marx, all Marx is a critique of capitalism. He doesn't really even have proposals of his own. He kind of, talks about what
it's. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I understand, and I've disagreed with very little that you've said, but I think that is essentially the problem. Is that you're exactly right. It's a critique, so it's worth reading, it's worth considering, but there's no solution. And I believe it was Churchill who said that capitalism is the worst form of government or economic system except for all the others.
Well, okay.
But are you familiar with that quote?
Oh, I am. Churchill's an idiot.
Yeah.
So here's.
Well, okay, fine. But no, if I may ask you, are you in your 30s, 40s, 50s?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay. It's shocking to me how much we seem to agree on and come to very different conclusions.
Okay, well, we watched the Libertarian convention last year, and we watched every day of it, right? Because I'm a political junkie. It's good content.
Me too.
And we agreed, and I had to keep reminding the chat, we're going to agree with so much of the Libertarian thought. We all properly diagnose what the issues are. They just come to the fact that no, we want less government intervention and we should let the market take care of it. But that's clearly, to me, feudalism. That's you're
right.
Giving away your power to be able to regulate business and saying that businesses will be malevolent, and there is zero proof that would ever happen.
I agree. I like it local. Because I think the libertarian perspective is too naive, like you said earlier. We agree on that. So I think my pop out, if you want to call it that, is just that I want my decisions being made as close to home as possible.
Well, here's the thing about that, though. Okay,
level.
so it can't be a one size fits all everything, because say 3M is dumping chemicals into the Tennessee River because this actually happened. You have to have an agency that's big enough to be able to enforce 3M being a Superfund site and making them clean it up. Because that actually happened. That's something that the EPA did because 3M was dumping chemicals in the Tennessee River.
RFK did a lot of that sort of thing. How do you feel about him?
So RFK was a corporate was a civil rights anti-corporate lawyer.
Yeah. And so he fought a lot of that stuff like you just described, like 3M dumping chemicals. To the best of my knowledge, I don't have facts
he fought a lot of
vaccine
vaccine makers because he had a vested interest in some woo on the side. You gotta
making some.
you've got to be weary of what's going on.
Always. Did you see his and
you don't take RFK
Warren.
seriously, do
Warren's
you?
exchange
Hold on.
Day?
You don't take RFK seriously, do you?
No, I don't really.
Okay.
I really don't. I think he's an interesting. He's not a pawn.
He's a dumbass.
But
is what he is.
Maybe he's like a bishop. If you were making a chess analogy, I don't know exactly what piece he is, but he's a
dumbass grifter, is what he is.
I don't know. I don't doubt his intelligence. I'm sure he's an intelligent
I do.
man.
Brother, he had a brain worm. He was addicted to heroin for over a decade. We watched him swim in raw sewage just like a month ago. Come the fuck on.
Well, I gotta hop off here, but I've enjoyed speaking with you.
Well, subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and come back in. We find out what that news be doing Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I was getting ready to say every night, but it's Sunday through Thursday. Come join us.
I love it. All right.
One
Hey, thank
of
you for having
us.
me. Appreciate
One
it.
of us. Good night, my friend. Have a
All
good
right,
one.
brother.
That was awesome. You get a titty slap.
A titty slap! Give me those titties,
Come on now.
Shelly, DJ Dub, Red Wine Terrorist, Objectively, As, who else we got? Anybody else come in here on me? Park Horse, Meat Cakes, Fuzzy Simba, Princess Kimberly. Welcome in. Good evening. Femvox. I had so much more I wanted to ask him. Because I just wanted the opinion on how you move from 2016 and being a libertarian to Trump in 2020. But I definitely wanted to know how you go from 2020 to 2024 and be more galvanized towards Trump. That is what blows my mind. We didn't even get there.
Like one it and tip one back on one more clip before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.